good morning. How's everybody doing today? My name is Michael Benmeleh. I'm a licensed real estate broker here in South Florida. I've been working now in the real estate business here for about 18 years, since 2006, which is incredible how long it's been doing this for. A little quick background on myself. Besides the fact that I've been working in real estate for quite some time, I've done a lot of different specializations throughout my career. Some of these things included, obviously, not only doing the day-to-day grind of working in real estate, helping buyers and sellers, etc. I've also, in my lifetime, over many years, also flipped many properties, almost like 300 of them, for many, many years. So I've been very, very much involved in all aspects of real estate. I've also worked in commercial as well with a lot of my own clients, helping them buy properties, etc. So I'm quite knowledgeable regarding whether it's for investment, it's for yourself. Really, I'm very quite knowledgeable in all these things. Now, another very interesting thing about myself, again, as a kind of a prelude, and the reasoning really why I feel I'm so passionate about what we're doing right now. As we all know, right, when COVID hit, Miami and specifically all of South Florida became an incredible place where a lot of people were starting to move, specifically from the Jewish communities. I myself, since the year 2015, actually go back a little bit earlier, I don't come from a religious background at all. So I know what it's like to live a standard Jewish culture lifestyle. Yet at the same time, during my late 20s, I started, so to speak, coming back to doing Baal Tshuva, etc., and becoming more observant and religious in that way. Until today, I've kind of grown in that path, but a lot of what I do also deals with sometimes with outreach, and I'm specifically very connected to all the different communities in South Florida, and a lot of different, like the rabbis in the communities, etc. So I'm very, very particular and familiar from a Jewish level, regarding, sometimes people are asking me, well, what community or what shul or what rabbi, etc., that people are kind of going to. So I have a lot of, also, I would say my specialty also is in the spiritual aspects of things. So you're really, from the perspective of all you guys being here, everybody's on different levels in regards to Judaism, which is fine. It's all good, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm here really to help you in regards to navigating what's the best place or community for yourself or your family that'll give you, the most happiest in your joy, not only on a physical level, but on a soulful level as well. So with that being said, today, is we're talking about the Jewish communities in South Florida. Now, what people don't understand is South Florida, in regards to Jewish communities, it's a much larger picture than people realize. And I've been already dealing from a lot of different Canadians that have already been coming down here. I've been already working with them, and there's a lot of things that are coming up repeatedly over and over again, which is quite amazing to see how a lot of different people are really shocked when they get to South Florida and they see all these different type of communities, and like, I can't believe it's like this. This is amazing. So with that being said, I want to tell you guys that I'm very excited already to just start this process with all you guys. I usually do kind of this mini process with a lot of my own personal clients, but I thought, let's open this up to the general people. And then once you guys kind of see what's out there, we can kind of get more in detail. My goal also is today we're really going to be going over a lot more of the South Florida Jewish communities on a larger level. We're looking from a bird's eye view, looking down. Eventually, the goal will be to start doing our own personal webinars where we're dealing more specifically on a community level, with having other people from the community as well, speaking and talking about their reactions, maybe a rabbi from the community, maybe a big leader in the community, and kind of showcase it more on a specific level. So with that being said, we're going to be doing this for about good 40 minutes. I'm hopeful that we could probably get most of this done in about 20 to 30 minutes, what I'm going to show you now. We're not going to go through all of South Florida today because I realize there's too much to talk about. So what I'm going to probably be doing is going over what we like to call Broward County. Miami is literally set up into 3 counties. You have Dade County. People might know Miami Beach, for example. That's part of Dade County. You have Broward County, which is one of the main highlights, is Hollywood, as an example. And then you have Palm Beach County, where we're talking about more like Boca, Delray Beach, Boynton, these specific areas, okay? So my goal today is kind of just to show you from the outside looking in on a big map, and kind of explain to you geographically where these locations are, what there is, what's going on there, so to speak. And again, we're gonna hit just the general surface of it, right? We're not gonna go crazy all in right now. I hope that within the last maybe 15, 10 minutes from then, I think that would be really cool is to actually have some Q&A. If there's any questions regarding more real estate matters or community kind of concepts or ideas and questions you have, please ask. Anything regarding, I know Kanay is also asking regarding the visa process and all that stuff. That stuff I would definitely recommend. And I'm sure Elenise can also guide you. I know my own people as well who can help you in regards to immigration, visas, all these specific questions like that. Then we may have to do a separate webinar just alone for that. But for this general scheme, we're here to show you about the South Florida communities. So here we go. Let me just load up here and give you a nice aerial view of South Florida. And like I said, today, really, we're going to be hitting Broward County. We are not going to be hitting Dade County. And I'll explain to you why, because there's just a lot to be saying on that. Okay, so where are we right now? This is the map of South Florida, just to give you some highlights, kind of see where we're going to start. Here is the beach, right? And here is the first area of Broward County called Hollandale Beach, okay? Now, a lot of people have asked me that, like, they have this thing, like, I want to be close to the beach. Can I walk to the beach? Is there a way I can walk to the beach? Is there a way that I could be in a Jewish community, walk or bike to the beach, right? And at the same time have access to restaurants, Jewish schools, etc. So here we go. First community we got to look at, again, starting Broward County, is Hollandale Beach. What's the story with Hollandale Beach? So just so you have an idea, for many people, if I say the word Aventura, it rings to some people. Aventura is right here, although it's part of Dade County. And again, very, very Jewish community. We're not going to be talking so much about Aventura at all today, because again, that's part of Dade County, which will be probably another webinar. Hollandale Beach is right above it, so it's really much connected to it. And within Hollandale Beach, you can see here that I'm going to show you here. You have, number one of the largest Broward County Chabads in all South Florida. It's called the Chabad of South Broward. They're located right here. Okay. You have, from this perspective, there's kosher supermarkets across the board. You can find them anywhere. From the perspective of the distance to the beach, if you're looking to live in a condo and you're looking at buying a condo, standard condo, 2-2, nothing crazy building, but whatever, they start 2 bedrooms starting in the mid 300s just to get yourself a condo. Again, keep in mind also, a lot of people have asked me, so understand, anytime you're buying in a condo, you're dealing with maintenance fees, and maintenance is not always cheap. So we can have that more in detail in regards to how that looks like. This is a separate conversation as well, but just so you understand, like, when it comes to condos, maintenance is not cheap. We have to start thinking about, really, if I'm doing financing, how do my numbers add up when you're looking at maintenance fees? Now, if you're living here, for example, you have homes all the way from here going up and above north. Homes here on the average are ranging starting in the high 500-600 range, all the way up to 800, and they're not big homes at all. Again, part of the reasoning why it's expensive is specifically because I can literally go from my home, either bike or walk, and I go straight to the gorgeous beaches that are like literally right here. So again, it's a very desirable area. For those people that have, I would say, more higher budgets, there are homes in this area called Harbor Islands, beautiful area, homes that are going from $2, $3, $4 million on the water. Is gorgeous. You can be here, okay? Now, what is connected to this area? And by the way, I want to also show you guys, this is very, very important. If you guys go to my website, showmemiami.com, I'll put it here on the chat below. You guys can see it here. It's an incredible, incredible resource that we spent almost close to a year putting this website together. So it literally is spoon-fed for you regarding all the different type of communities. If you go to Jewish communities and you go to Broward, for example, and you click on Hollandale as your first one, which is the community we're talking about right now, and you can see all the different things that are going on within the community itself. And by the way, as you see here, there's a WhatsApp group we put up almost daily new different listings, price reductions, off-market deals that are in the WhatsApp group as well. So you get a nice little cute video here. This is exactly what Hollandale Beach looks like. Really beautiful, but you can see if you click down, you can click on the shuls. there's the restaurants, there's the markets. Everything here is in the website for you guys to see. Okay. Now going back to the map. You guys can see the map. If you guys can make sure, I want to see a little thumbs up. If you want to put a little emoji, I just want to make sure you guys can see it. Is that a yes? Perfect. Thank you, Bob. All right. So here from the perspective now, what's the next community to look at? So now we're going to focus on Hollywood. Okay. Guys, when you talk about Hollywood, oh yeah, moving to Hollywood, Florida. Hollywood is divided into various communities. All right. The most popular of all the Hollywood communities that everybody knows, that most people talk about, and has exploded in the last several years, is this specific pocket right here called, really, I like to call it, if you go to my website, it's called Emerald Hills. Emerald Hills is a subdivision in Hollywood that is basically single family homes. This area in general regarding the homes are not gated. There are little private little homes that you can find, like the Woods here, that is gated. But this has become like one of the most popular places to live in South Florida. Why specifically? Because of the fact of the matter is you can get yourself a proper single family home, preferably 4 bedrooms, maybe 5. You're going to get approximately anywhere from 24 to 3,500 square foot of a home as on a general. You'll have a swimming pool, and these homes are starting nowadays. Now the prices have kind of like come down a little bit, which is good. You're looking at to start off at what, 1.2 million, 1.3, 1.4, and up. If you're in that price range and you're looking for a Jewish community, this is an incredible community for that. It originally used to be very, very Israeli. Then over the last several years, when people were looking to get, especially from New Yorkers moving down, people from California moving down, they realize there's really good value here. The amount of synagogues that are here, there's too many to count, which is incredible. I have here just singled out the 2 biggest ones. You have the Young Israel Hollywood. It's a massive shul located here. Sterling Road is the main road of this area. You have B'nai Sephardim, a gorgeous shul, again, for my Sephardic people. What's up? And the idea here is there's shuls all around. So there's no shortage of that. There's tons of restaurants now in Hollywood. The kosher markets, there's at least 3 really good ones, three within like minutes from each other, and they're all like nice. And again, what's also really nice about Hollywood is like if you live in Hollywood, if you just put this into the map perspective, here are my little stars right here. To get to the beach from here is about approximately, I don't know, 12-minute, 15-minute drive, max, max, max. So you're really, really nice, centrally located, which is really, really great. Now, the other thing to look into, give me 1 second. Okay, so the other thing we need to look into that I think is quite interesting is if you look at the fact that you have on the top part of the map right here, on the top part of this area, also just again pointing it out there because you never know, it'll come back to for people that are looking. You see Oak Ridge and Maple Ridge. These are gated communities, a little bit more, I would say, dense in regards. You're not getting like this big lot. Most lots in general in Emerald Hills are about like 10,000 square feet. Here you're looking at getting much smaller lots, but it's more of a more tighter knit community. There's synagogues inside of the actual complex itself. But I know a lot of people, especially in Canada, I've been talking about a lot about this is regarding the aspect of safety. I just want to point this out. I think it's fascinating. If you guys don't mind, I know for my Canadians, they know what's going on, but I think it's important to reiterate this because I saw this and I wanted to share this with everybody. Oh, it's not here now. Basically, there was a post, and this post I see here. Oh, it's not even working right now. Okay. So point of the matter is there was a post that I saw. I see what's going on right now with the situation with the security in Canada. And I feel like I see it, and I'm in Miami right now. And when I see these things, you guys are getting used to these things. In Miami, it's unheard of to deal with what you guys are dealing with right now. And the most recent thing I just saw also, not only with the factors is 50% of violence is going on is regarding Jewish people. I just saw that the other day. But the fact that now you guys are getting rid of kosher food, so to speak, they're getting rid of shechita, which is crazy, crazy to me. So in Miami in South Florida, we don't feel any of this. Could there be potentially a occurrence that may happen? Maybe, like in anywhere else in the world. But here you feel safe. You can walk on the street with your kippah and you're proud. You can be a Jew walking with an Israeli flag and you're proud. You're not here and there's nothing to hide. And that's, I think I want to just reiterate that point because a lot of people ask me, well, I need to be in a guard gated community. I need to be in a gated community. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, it's nice to be in a gated community, but you can also be living in a regular single family home residential area and you're safe. And it's not like you have to be living on guard. Like it doesn't work like that here in South Florida. So I just want to point that out as something that I know a lot of people have been asking me about. Like, do I have to be in a gated community? And the answer is absolutely not. Although here it is gated. That's why I came to that point. So Emerald Hills, restaurants, markets, synagogues, you got everything here. Okay. Different, and again, there are condos if you need to get a standard condo here. 2 bedrooms are starting in the mid 300s. And again, nice area to look into if you're in that. Now, if you are priced out of that $1.2 million price range, and by the way, also I should point this out, Maple Ridge and Oak Ridge, you're getting homes more like 800, high sevens. There's smaller ones that are like mid sixes that are just smaller 3 bedrooms and not necessarily going to get a pool. So really, once you start thinking about getting a pool, you're more like 800, 900, a million and up. That's this area here. Now, here we go is Emerald Hills, the regular area we spoke about. Beautiful TY Park, a gorgeous park that's right here. Now, if you can't afford living in this kind of area, this area right here, I like call it to a lot of people, it's the wild card of South Florida. And this is called Hollywood Hills. If you go to my website, you'll see Hollywood Hills is one of the areas as well. Hollywood Hills is an up and coming area because now that this is priced out, a lot of people started moving into this area. Originally, it wasn't as, I would say, predominantly Jewish, but now a lot more Jews have moved into this area. And now there's currently also from people that are interested to walk to synagogue, there's approximately 4 different synagogues in this specific little pocket. Here, you can get homes, a standard 3 bedroom. Right now we're talking about anywhere from like mid to high fives, with maybe no pool, all the way up to 850, 900, 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom with a pool. That's kind of your price range here. So you're getting more affordable than living in Emerald Hills, yet at the same time going to be in a situation where it's just much more affordable to get into. You get yourself a normal lot, you might get a pool. And again, if you want to go throughout the weekdays, oh, I want to go to the kosher market. Oh, I want to go to a restaurant. I mean, you're literally here. You're literally 4-minute driving. So you're really part of this community, but you're just getting, so to speak, a more affordable home. Home sizes are going to be smaller. In general, homes are going here between 16, 17 to 22, 2,300 square feet. They're not going to be huge in general, but it really does fill the need for a lot of people, and that's why a lot more people, young couples specifically, have moved into this specific pocket. So that is Hollywood Hills. So far we've covered Hollandale Beach, Emerald Hills, Hollywood Hills. Now, right above Emerald Hills, we move up a little bit more, and you have this specific area. You guys see all these little waterways here? You see all these little rivers that are coming across right there. This is the area I like to call Griffin Road, North Hollywood. Now it's interesting because I kind of created its own name because it's kind of, people say, oh, I live in Hollywood, but like, oh, I live in this part right here, which is again the Southwest 34th area. You guys see it, if you look at the rest, is my big fat Greek, like that's the area we're talking about. I highlighted there this place called the Jewish Center. There's approximately 3 synagogues that are in this vicinity right now. And what I like about this area, besides also having access to all the different things that Emerald Hills has to offer, if anybody wants to live a boating lifestyle, okay, if you ever wanted to have a boat and you wanted to retire and you wanted to have a cute little house, houses there are not big. So you can get, you're talking also about 15, 16, 18, 19, 2,000 square feet. And you want to have a little dock and you want to have access to eventually go out to the main bay in Fort Lauderdale, this is the place to be. You could see here, as for example, here's like one of the synagogues, and you can live in one of these homes here, right? So this is huge. Like for those people that really like this boating idea, wow, Michael, one day I wish I could go boating and walk to synagogue and have access to all the Jewish stuff. This is the place to be. Is it as Jewish as Emerald Hills, as in general as a living area? No, but like it almost like again, depending on what your lifestyle is, it makes sense for many people that want that. You can see here, once I live in a house, let's say I live in a house right here, I put my little boat and boom, off you go. And it takes you on a canal all the way. Beautiful ride. We're going, we're going, we're going. Yeah, it seems like we're going for a while here. But eventually, after about 45 minutes or so, you will get to the main bay here where obviously all the boats come through, etc. And eventually you can get to the ocean if you ever want that. So this is more for like just throwing it out there. I think a lot of people that may have interest in that down the line. It's a really cool thing. What are houses they're going for? You can get a house starting on the water, regular small 3 bedroom. You're starting at maybe like in the 700s. So it's not, I think it's a very affordable price to be on the water and yet be in a Jewish community. It's hard to find that in South Florida. Usually waterfront is crazy. So here's still a very good opportunity area if you're looking to do that. Now, next area to look into consider is right here. So from the, you know what, actually just point out one more little thing here for you guys. Hold on. My mouse is giving me issues. Hold on. Okay, so if anybody has been to South Florida very recently, you would see and you would know about the famous Hard Rock Hotel. Okay, it's become an iconic place in South Florida for tourism and for various things. Okay, you can see here, this is where we were located before. We're back in Sterling into the Emerald Hills area, which is connected. If you keep driving, you run into the Hard Rock. From the Hard Rock, just going a little bit more, just a little bit more west. And this is another community called West Hollywood. If somebody is Jewish and they want to live in a single family home and their budget is somewhere to the tune of mid four to like $600,000, and you want to get a small home, they're not big, 11, 1,200 square feet, 1,300 square feet, and you want to walk to a synagogue and you still want access to everything regarding the Jewish stuff, this is the community you want to live in. This is called West Hollywood. The main synagogue that surrounds it is called Beis Mordechai. Again, it's a wild card for a lot of people. It might not be the right fit, but I always want to present it because it's really the most more affordable places to live. Again, standard little single family home. Now, from here, you can see, give me 1 second. Man, smooth mouse is giving me a problem. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on. Okay, so I'm having a little bit of a technical difficulty, which is amazing. Perfect timing for that. But what I wanted to show you guys right now, my mouse just literally just gave up on me, which is crazy. Okay, here we go. Okay, so finally from there, if you keep going a little bit more west, you'll run into another area that's becoming very popular. A lot of Canadians talking about it. It's called Cooper City. Yay, Cooper City. What's the big deal with Cooper City? It's safe, it's clean, it's got great schools. It's really becoming like a really more hotter place to live. It's more urban, it's more suburban. You're a little bit more away from everything. Cooper City has the David Posnack Jewish Community Center, which is one of the most nicest JCCs that's out there. And they also have the David Posnack School, which also has become a very popular school. It's a Jewish day school. So for those people that may be looking more for like a more religious kind of a school, that's not the play. It's more of a Jewish school. But for those looking for something like that, Cooper City is a very nice place to live. What's nice about Cooper City, this goes back to the concept of gated communities. You can get yourself a nice house in a gated community and you're paying 1.1, 1 million, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and you're living in a nice 4 bedroom, 2 floor, newer looking community, 2,800 square feet. And it's really nice. Like Cooper City is a very nice place. But again, we're a little bit now further out. And this is the key that people need to understand. The more newer, cleaner, whatever you want to call that, more suburbia, right? You're more further out. Cooper City has a couple of synagogues right now. The Chabad South with Broward is a beautiful synagogue. They've been an established community there already for a while. And then you have the new one, Eliyahu Hanavi Sephardic Synagogue, which is located here in Embassy Lakes, right here. Homes here, if when they're available, are in the 7, 8, $900 million range, give and take. And also, what's nice about Cooper City, depending where you live in Cooper City, if you don't care about being walking distance to synagogues, you can get yourself a home with big lots, big land. If you're looking for big land, Cooper City may offer that to you. So that's the idea behind Cooper City. There are kosher markets as well in Cooper City that are available to you, which is also really, really nice. So Cooper City is also on the up and up. It's, like I said, and it's for those people that actually want to send their kids to a public school. It's like the best public schools in South Florida are based in Cooper City. Next community we're going to look at, and by the way, I also should say, if you don't care about being in a, so to speak, predominantly more Jewish community, but you still want to be like within the mix and you don't care about being walking distance to the synagogue, we can discuss Davie, which is right here. You can get big lots here, gorgeous lots, as another area as well. And I think it's gorgeous and it's beautiful, but again, depending what you're looking for. Another community that we could talk about is Plantation. Again, Plantation, you can look it up on my website as well. Here you have the Chabad of Plantation. You have Tiferet Raphael congregation that's Sephardic. They have a Chabad of East Plantation now. Here you're getting homes from the 7, 8, 900 and up. And again, if you want to be walking distance to something like a Chabad of Plantation, very clean, beautiful, more single family homes, less guarded gated communities. But again, very, very nice place to live. It's safe, very safe. There happens to be a Jewish school there called the Mizrahi School. It's right there. So you can see here, Mizrahi Torah Academy. And again, regarding distance, how far away from everything is, if you wanted to drive and go get your kosher supermarket, you're pretty close. I mean, you're a good 15-minute drive if you want to get what you needed to get in regards to kosher food, if that's something you're looking for. But really, I think a plantation has definitely blown up again in the last couple of years. A lot of Jewish people moved into these areas when it was a little bit more affordable. And it still is for what they're offering. I think it's still very affordable, but you have to know, like everything else, anytime we're talking about these communities, you're just a little bit further out from the main central hub. It's still good. It's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, not so bad. But some people really want to be in the mix. Some people don't care. And you can see here that you have access, again, to a specific type of school here. If you wanted to go even Plantation and have your kid go to one of the schools in Cooper City we were mentioning before, like a David Posnack, it's like about a 20-minute drive. It's not the end of the world, but you have to know that that's what we're looking at. Moving on to a different community besides Plantation. And again, we're not going to be delving in so detailed to every community, but we're just trying to go through the process. You have, as we go up, Coral Springs. Coral Springs is a large, large city located literally right here. Many Chabads, there's about 4 or 5 Chabads. A lot of frum communities have started opening up in Coral Springs. There, I think you're getting really one of your better values in South Florida. If you want to get yourself a house that's over 2,300 square foot with a pool, 4 bedrooms, for example, maybe 5 sometimes, and you're talking the 700, 800 range. And up. But there's good value here in Coral Springs. If you're willing to, live west in South Florida, this is a really good place if you want to buy for value purposes to get yourself a decent home. So that's the idea behind Coral Springs. Moving up a little bit more, and we are here, and I'm laughing about this because a lot of the Canadians, when they talk to me, it's like, Parkland, Parkland, Parkland. I love Parkland. Why do you love Parkland? And the reasoning why you love Parkland is because literally Parkland is just beautiful, clean suburbia, gated communities with gorgeous amenities. That's what Parkland is. Parks, and it's just, you just drive in and you're just like, this is unbelievably beautiful, and it's safe and it's clean. So I'm a big fan of Parkland. But look, I just want you to understand, this is Parkland. We're right here. Yeah. and look where everything else is. Like we're talking about, if you want to go from Parkland and you want to drive down to the main central hubs of Broward County alone, we're not even talking about Miami yet. You're still about 35, 40-minute drive easy to get there through the highways. So for some people, it's like, oh my God, this is so far. But I think that if you're like, for example, if you're more of a homebody, you want to work out at home, you don't need to drive out to the main areas in South Florida. I think, and you're comfortable with the idea of, also remember, when you're living in Parkland and you're living in a gated community, it's a lot of maintenance. You have to be paying for. You have to be prepared for that. So I've already worked with a couple of Canadians, and they've all told me the same thing. In the beginning, they were very concerned. Michael, I don't want to pay more than $250, $300 for maintenance, and most of these communities are like five, six, seven, $800, $900 a month. But what you're getting is really, really worth it. You're getting gorgeous pool areas, playgrounds, basketball court, gym. It's like, wow. So once they see it, then they appreciate the value of what it means to live in these kind of places. There is, from a religious perspective, there is a Chabad of Parkland. It's actually an absolutely gorgeous synagogue, gorgeous. Um, but it's like the amount of homes that are walking distance to it might not be so great. So I would say if you're not so like keen, like I don't have to walk to synagogue, let's just say, for example, Parkland is a very nice place to live. Suburbia, a lot of people say, oh, it kind of reminds me of Thornhill a little bit. And so this is a place definitely have your eye on the map. Again, it's not where everything is at. It's not where the action's at. But if you want to live your life in a nice, chill, tranquil area that's safe, good schools, Parkland is definitely a play should definitely be looking at. Again, happy to discuss this more in detail a different time. You can see here's the Chabad of Parkland. It's part of this area. Next to Chabad, we move up a little bit, and we are now in Boca Raton. Yay, that's another big area Canadians are really, really always attracted to. Boca Raton is a very big city, guys, okay? There's a lot of areas within Boca Raton. Now, if you want to be in areas in Boca Raton that, oh, by the way, I should actually back up and say something. If you live in Parkland, where are your kids going to go to school? So ideally, you're going to have to most likely drive to go to a school here in Boca. Parkland to Boca is about a good 15, 20-minute drive, give and take, depending on the traffic. There's a bunch of Jewish schools there as well, Donna Klein being one of them. Pat's Yeshiva is another one, as an example. Boca's blown up on a religious level. It blew up a lot. And that religious level, because it blew up so much, the prices became very, very expensive. So if you want to be next to, like, for example, it's a very well-known synagogue, the Boca Raton Synagogue. It's a huge, huge, huge community. It's very expensive to live around that area. You're talking minimum starting close to $2 million, something like that, just to be in a single family home there. But if you want to be now, there's more Chabads that opened up in different areas, smaller communities. You're still talking about 1.5 million and a little bit less. If you don't care about walking to synagogue and you just want to live in Boca, Boca is like a larger version of Parkland in the sense that it's clean. It's just clean and it's safe and it's nice. Yeah. But at the same time, with all those things that I'm saying to you, that's clean, safe, and nice, people don't understand. Boca, guys, is not Miami, meaning it's a different, completely different stratosphere. You're not even talking about Miami anymore. Boca Drive in general, from the tip of the north of Miami, is close to 55 minutes to an hour. So if you have a commute, if you're working in Miami, that's not fun. So you really need to realize, like, where are you working? What does that correlate to where you're living? Which is a very important thing, obviously, to think about as you're going through this process. But Boca's got a lot of gated communities, a lot. And really, it's beautiful and it's nice. But again, keep in mind, there's going to be maintenance fees. And in Boca, another problem that they have, not problem, I don't say a problem, it's not the right word, but people have to know that some of these are called golf communities. And so golf communities, they have like a membership fee to even start, which is like a lot. You might have to pay $10,000 just to get into a community. And then after that, you're paying like an extensive amount of money for maintenance. It could be 1,000, it could be 1,500. It's a lot. Not every community is like this. There are also cheaper ones as well with very nice homes. The key is what I'm trying to get at. Boca's big, but if you say, Michael, I don't care about being walking distance to synagogue and I want that Boca experience, you can still get yourself a nice, beautiful house, 900, a million, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and 5. gorgeous homes. You get a beautiful house in Boca if you not want to be exactly walking to synagogues. Boca's a big area. So there's a lot of opportunity here in Boca, and that's why it's become so popular in general. Now, from Boca, I'll show you guys, we're almost finished with the presentation on an aerial level. We have two more areas. You have Delray Beach and Boynton Beach, okay? Here we have Boynton Beach. So Boynton Beach is an area that's really, really grown a lot over the last couple of years. It used to be a sleepy town, and now it's, I would definitely grown a lot more from the perspective of a Chabad growing there as well. And so a lot more Jewish people definitely started moving there. More Frum people started moving there as well. You can get your standard 3-bedroom small home, $500,000. Okay, maintenance you're going to have to pay most likely. You're probably going to be in a gated community, give and take. But you're talking about a nice up and coming community in South Florida. It's more affordable. Within Boynton Beach, also, there are beautiful, like gorgeous homes that, let's say, if you put those homes anywhere in Miami, a Jewish community would be like $3 million. Here, they're like 1.5, 1.6, like half the cost. So Boynton Beach is very interesting. It really is central regarding a Chabad. There's not really much other stuff going on there. And you can see also it's got good proximity to get to the ocean from Boynton Beach. So definitely something else to look into. You have a JCC as well. I'm pointing it out here. There's a JCC of Boynton Beach too. Again, it's a wild card community. It's not for everybody. But for those people that, again, maybe I want to retire, maybe I need my space and I don't care about the day-to-day grind. And, you know, that these things don't matter. Boynton may be a place you might want to look into. And then finally with that, you also have the Delray Beach. Delray Beach is literally, let me go back up here. So you had Boca. This is Boca right here. This is to give you an idea. This is Boca. And you just go up a little bit more, and then you have Delray Beach. Delray Beach is very similar to Boynton Beach. Same concept, same idea. More reserve. There is also a Chabad there as well that's definitely doing good things. They have a little Jewish school also called the Cheder Chabad. You can see it right here. And again, I think in Delray Beach actually just opened up the first ever kosher market there, and it's a huge one too. They just opened up. That was just literally this week. It just opened up. So there's something to say about these areas. Again, you can get yourself a gorgeous house, and you're talking about like half the cost of what you would get if someone central in Miami. But again, it's not for everybody, and people want to be more in the mix. It's really far away, so to speak, from general central like Miami area. Okay. Again, we're going to go more in detail with other seminars. We'll go more in detail in regards to every single community. My goal is just to kind of give you the whole layout of the land here in South Florida. So I think that pretty much sums up most of the Broward County communities. There are a couple here and there that I would say are more specialized that I'm not bringing up right now. Like, for example, Inverary, which is near Lauderhill. That's a very, very strong Chabad community. So most people I know from these kind of groups are not looking for that. I'm talking about like predominantly Chabad, Lubavitch strong. These are great communities if you know anybody from Chabad that's looking for that. Much more affordable, 500, 600, 700, 800. You might get land. It's very, very nice. That's another community that's up here as well. So I think that pretty much sums up a lot of Broward County. As you can see, there's many places to live. The only one that I did not touch, which I think we should probably end up with that. We started with Hollandale Beach. We moved over to Hollywood. This area, guys, I'm going to tell you one more. It's called East Hollywood. And this is the last one we're going to go through. Let me just scoot myself down a little bit. East Hollywood is literally located in right above Hollandale Beach. If you guys see on the map, Hollandale Beach is right next to the beach, and then you have East Hollywood. East Hollywood is an area that has 2 synagogues currently right now that are Chabad. A lot of people started moving there. It's aesthetically really, really nice, and the best part about living there, look, I'm going to it right now so you guys can see. It's literally right here. This whole area right here, guys, you got these 2 lakes, and you live in all where these single-family homes are, okay? You can walk or bike to the beach. Gorgeous, amazing, guys. You can have like really, I love it because I myself like considered it many times, but then I like back out last second because many other reasons. But here you have single family homes starting 7, 8, 900,000 for smaller homes, and then they can work your way up to like 7, $8 million for ridiculous homes on the water. They really vary in their size. A lot of people like it here. It's a Airbnb friendly area. And again, you're very much within driving distance to Aventura, Hallandale Beach, and all these different areas. You're there. So if somebody, again, wants to be next to the beach and they want that access that they can just go there, East Hollywood. You can see my website, go to East Hollywood, and you'll see the homes there as well. Okay, so with that being said, that's a pretty very good summed up summary of Broward County. Lots of communities, as you can see, and we can talk about all these things much more in detail, obviously on a one-on-one level. But what I want to do is for those people that are still here, if anybody has any actual questions, I can go ahead and unmute and you can just jump in if you'd like. And I'm going to allow you right now. If you want to, anybody wants to jump in, feel free to ask any questions at all. Here to help you with all your needs. And I see here actually there's a question from the chat. I heard Hollywood Hills will double in value in the next 10 years. True. I mean, look, it's possible that it could. I don't know if it's going to double in the next 10 years. It's very difficult to say that, just like anything else in real estate in South Florida. But I do believe that it's definitely a place that it's on the up and up. There's no question about it. That buying something in Hollywood Hills eventually will go up in price. That should be a no-brainer, based upon alone the demand of many people moving down here and the lack of inventory that I can find right now under $1 million to be really still very centrally located. So I think Hollywood definitely is on the trajectory and they're going up. I don't like saying, oh yeah, double in value 10 years because we don't know what the world's going to look like in 10 years. But I would definitely say that's one thing. I see some question. I heard Temple Sinai will evolve into Orthodox in some years to come. Is that true? So again, I don't even know which Temple Sinai we're even talking about because I know there's a couple of them. There's one I know of specifically in the North Miami Beach Aventura area. So I don't know which one you're talking about. I have not heard of this before that this might evolve. If it happens, amazing. You know, I don't know what to say, but I have not heard of this one before. No. Is Cooper City more Israeli? Yes, there is definitely more Israelis moving into Cooper City. There's everything in between. By the way, Cooper City is also very uh, white collared American. Also, like there's also like a lot of non-Jews. It's fine, but it's just like very clean. Are there Israelis? Yes. Hollywood was full of Israelis. Still is full of Israelis. Cooper City was just more of a progression, and they kept going west. So yes, there are Israelis in Cooper City. Can we talk about Boca's good streets? We're looking there. Also, Canadian that moved. What do you need to purchase a house as a Canadian just moved? Okay, I don't know if you want, Estee, do you want to jump into the audio and explain that? I don't quite understand the question. Regarding Boca, again, depends where do you want to be in Boca? Like, does it matter to you? What, like, how, do you want to be next to synagogues? Is that important? I don't know. Boca's a big place, and what I would say to you, I see these are questions more. You jumping in?
I'm trying to.
Okay,
Uh,
go.
so first of all, thank you. And second, I wanted to ask, we're looking into, good schools and in general, very in general, because our, case is very specific, but what do Canadian need to look at if we're moving to just check it out in terms of rental? We didn't speak about rentals because people don't really purchase a house right away. So if you can just exposed a little bit more about that, about the requirements and what, and also requirements of buying a house because we obviously don't have American credit yet.
That's a very good question. So first of all, in regards to rentals, right? What you need to generally rent a home in South Florida. I mean, a lot of people will always say, "Let me look at your." If you first of all, the credit score is always the most important thing they want to see. Is your credit score good? Obviously, a lot of Canadians may or may not have a credit score. So the next step is, well, okay, well, I want to know that you're able to at least afford the place. So you're going to have to submit to them, pay stubs. They might ask you for bank statement to see, hey, can the person really afford a home? And that's essentially really what you need. Once, if you're, let's say we're working to find a place for rent in any of these places, I would say to you that once you find a community, you have to apply for the association. Usually, it's really not a big deal. Everyone gets approved unless you're a criminal, or you may have really, 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 really bad credit. Some communities are like wary about that, but overall, everybody usually gets accepted. It's not really a big deal. And in regards to what was the second question you asked? Oh, regarding the process also of potentially buying. Is that what you're saying, or? I didn't get the second question, but one of the things I want to say is we're going to be having a seminar coming up. I think it's going to be next week. We're actually going to have with us a mortgage broker. His name is Mendy Leader. He's actually in the group here right now, who will be able to explain more about the pre-qualification process for buying a home. He's very familiar also with the Canadian market as well. So that's going to be a very informative one if we're going to discuss the process of actual process now of buying a home. That's going to be coming up in the Zooms to come. So we'll stay tuned for that one as you guys get the information. Um, but yeah, I see here Bob writes, I have family in Coconut Creek, Winmore. You didn't mention that. I know I didn't mention that. Coconut Creek is another smaller community. It's very small in comparison to all the other ones we've been talking about. There's always going to be like little small ones. Yeah. Coconut Creek is considered a very small one. It's a little Chabad there. That there's also the South Florida Jewish Academy. There's a school there for special needs kids and some kids that they put also for mainstream. So that's another conversation regarding the special needs world. We can have that as another conversation as well. We'll actually really do a Zoom seminar on all the different type of schools. That'd be amazing to do that because there's so many to choose from. It's wild. So, but yeah, okay, I gotta give love to Coconut Creek. Coconut Creek. I should show everybody on the map. No, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, it's not one of the main ones I would say that most people are looking into right now in regards to South Florida. But homes there, you can get a home there, 5, 6, $700,000. Kind of in the middle, in between being close to Coral Springs slash Boca Parkland area, like it's that vicinity as well. But it's not one of the more popular ones right now that people are really asking or looking to move into right now. Anybody else have any other questions?
So I have a question.
Hi, Bob.
Um, Thanks for answering about Coconut Creek. That makes sense. And so I guess, and maybe we need to have a one-on-one conversation after, but for a single person who may just want a condominium with some space, I was making some notes and it seemed like, was it North Hallandale seemed to be the place where you had mentioned condominiums?
Hollandale Beach.
Yeah, like close to a beach, but doesn't need to be right on it, but that area.
Right. So depending on your budget, Aventura, we haven't even speak about Dade County yet, right? But Aventura
Right.
is also really, really nice. There's a lot of condos more to choose from. I would say a little bit more, not upscale, but almost like upscale. And very Jewish area. And you're literally from the beach from Aventura, you're about a good, you shouldn't be more than a 10-minute drive max. You're like 5 to 10 minutes away. You're right there. And again, it has everything you need. It's got all the markets, tons of markets, restaurants, like everything. It's a gorgeous place to live. Hallandale Beach is right up north of it, and some people also look into Hallandale Beach because, again, the setting's just a little bit more different. It's not as maybe as congested as Aventura in general, but again, you would have to if you literally came here, would say, okay, I'll show you. Let me show you a couple condos in Hallandale Beach. Let's go take a look at a couple condos in Aventura, and you'll see it. But also, it's very relevant regarding what is your price range, and then I can kind of guide you. That's what I say with everybody else. It's like people always say like, well, Michael, I don't know where to move. And like, I'm like, the first start is what is your budget? Because based on your budget, I'll tell you, hey, here really are your options.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So maybe for more specifics, we would have a follow-up conversation.
Absolutely. And I urge that with anybody, for sure. Reach out to me whatever you guys can do, and I'm happy to do this. We have this all the time with all my clients, and we're kind of like strategize and come to a point where like, okay, these are going to be your best moves to have you well prepared when you're flying down to Miami to see what we're going to look at based upon your needs.
Great. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. So first of all, I want to thank Elanit again for putting this all together from the Canadians moving to Florida group. And I urge anybody that's here right now or will be watching this later, we'll be putting this seminar, the Zoom seminar, this obviously going to be videotaped. And people want to watch this later on, please make sure to share this to as many people as you can that really are interested in moving down to South Florida. And I want to re-urge to everybody the same thing again. I know that people in Canada right now are experiencing a lot of difficulties in regards to being Jewish in general. It's not a fun feeling. But I will tell you that South Florida, it's crazy how different lifestyle here is. I don't know what the world has to come in the next coming years, but what I can tell you is living in South Florida as a Jew is an incredible place to be, with pride and solidarity, and we have a governor who literally does everything possible for the Jewish people. Not only that, but creating incredible security grants for all the schools and synagogues, and he doesn't tolerate anything for anybody. And so, the police department here is really tough, and people know they don't want to mess around in Florida because we have a very good governor right now. Thank God, Baruch Hashem, that he's the one. Obviously, God is the one who's running the show, but we have a good person here who's really doing a great job. So safety overall, amazing here in South Florida. Living a life with all the fact that you have, again, you guys are not going to have potentially, it seems like you're not going to have kosher meat and you're going to have to bring it in. I can't even imagine what that looks like. We have here too much. It's too much kosher food. Thank God. We have 1 million restaurants, the top restaurants in South Florida here, whether you're kosher or not kosher. It's an incredible place to live. And obviously on a lifestyle level, it's a beautiful place. I don't want to tell you that right now it's 78 degrees and it's just gorgeous sun. I'm not going to tell that to you guys right now, but I am. And the weather here is obviously beautiful and amazing. And I know you guys, people like the snow, and that's fine too, but you can't go wrong with that. And then we have the beaches as well if you want that. There's so much to do with arts and culture. And Miami is an incredible place to be. So also, one more thing, again, just to keep in mind when you're talking about all these homes and these general areas where I want to live, very important to understand where you're going to work. Where you're going to work is going to also determine where you're going to live. And you don't want to drive too much, so people don't want to commute. So you need to figure that out. If you don't know yet where you're working, if you're working from home, and it really doesn't matter. But if you're not, then you need to figure that out as well. I just want to point that out. Okay. With that being said, I really thank everybody who's here. If you guys are joining this from the Facebook group, I'm going to share again my WhatsApp group link so you guys can join. It's called the Exclusive Miami Deals WhatsApp group, where I put up every week different type of properties. I go, as you saw right now, I'll explain to a specific house for sale, where is it located, and go through the house in general. But it's a new listing or whatever it is, and it keeps you informed of what's going on in the communities as well. So it's really, really informative and educational, and I hope to service everybody that's here or anybody here that will be watching later on. Looking forward to speaking to you guys in person. You can reach out to me as well. My number is, you can see here, I'm putting it in the WhatsApp group right now for those that want to reach out to me. If it's better for you to reach out to me through WhatsApp, please do as well. I love WhatsApp. I love voice messages. I love everything like that. You can do it that way as well. And please also, if you have an opportunity and you want to again keep going and doing some research on the side, feel free to go to my website, showmemyami.com, my nation, my Ami, and take a look at that. And you can look at all through 30 South Florida Jewish communities. So I hope what I'll probably do sometime next week, we'll go into Dade County and going through all the different areas there. Completely different concept completely. But yeah, looking forward to that as well. So thank you guys for being here tonight, spending the time here in the morning with me, and look forward to speaking to you guys in person. All right? Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And for those that are fasting, you should have an incredible end of the fast, the best. And have a great Purim to come as well. Have a great day, guys.